Mr. Warner, you have 5 pending cases in Tucson City Court. You've already been on these. They're from 2020 and 2021. Oh, you seem to have a problem with getting yourself to court. Oh, these are signed. I'm going to order that you be held on a $500 bond. I'm appointing the city public defender to represent you. And we're going to set a video review for March 7th at 1:45. If you are out of custody, it'll shift to April 2nd at 9:00 a.m. This is Tucson City Court. And you are excused.
I was released on those cases. Next.
Your Honor, this is the Spanish interpreter. The list does not indicate any defendants that are Spanish speaking, but that needs to be verified.
They'll verify no Spanish speakers.
Your Honor, we have one under the Spanish section. It says Carlos Olmeyer.
Oh, great. I'll stand by. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Good evening, Judge.
Good evening. Good evening. What's your name?
Angel Efrain Cruz.
Mr. Cruz, you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, drive-by shooting, unlawful discharge of a firearm at a non-residential structure, unlawful discharge of a firearm within city limits, and prohibited possessor. Order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs, do not have contact of any kind with the alleged victim, and stay away from the incident location. I'm also ordering that you contact your pretrial services officer on the first working day following your release from custody. The state is recommending that I hold you on a $100,000 bond in lieu of no bond, and this is with pretrial services supervision. If that bond is posted, we'll hear from defense counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. It appears that Mr. Cruz is already being held without bond. Another matter, it's an unlawful flight from law enforcement matter. So given that he's already being held no bond, we just ask that you set a nominal bond for time purposes. Thank you.
All right, Vice President.
Bond is set in the amount of $100,000. March 10th at 1:30 is your court date, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Written. All right, Judge.
Hello, sir. What's your name?
My name's Michael Litwinski.
You are charged, sir, with aggravated domestic violence and domestic violence aggravated harassment prior victim. The state, I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. You're to have no contact of any kind with Janet Cooper and stay away from her home and workplace. The state recommending a $15,000 bond with pretrial services supervision. If posted, we'll hear from the defense.
Yes, Judge. So it looks like Mr. Litwinski is already being held on a $2,500 bond on his misdemeanor cases. He has been unable to post that bond. So he is also not going to be able to post a $15,000 bond. So if you're not inclined to release, we just ask that the bond be close to $5,000. Thank you.
I didn't understand that this was the.
Bond is set in the amount of $15,000. March 10th, 1:30 is your next court date, and the public defender will be representing you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And Samihan, is Bagley still in the hospital?
Let me check. No, is he here? He's still in the hospital. I believe that is the case, Judge. Miss Julie Bagley is still in the hospital, so we will not object to continuing her to the next.
Let's take care of that.
Just give us 1 second. Sir.
This
And Judge, may I be briefly excused till you handle 3 misdemeanors?
Sure.
Thank you. So the
Hello, sir. What's your name?
My name's Eric Montgomery.
I'm sorry, say again.
My name's Eric Montgomery.
Montgomery?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. All right, you've got some misdemeanor warrants in Pima County Justice Court. One of them lists a charge of domestic violence, criminal trespass, knowingly displaying a false plate, driving on a suspended license, excessive speed, failure to appear, and domestic violence, threats, intimidation, domestic violence harassment.
I know I also had a felony charge, and it's where my party was, and I missed the misdemeanor court date. And by the time I had a lot of brain injury, so I got short-term memory loss. I was out on bond, and like by the time I realized that they took it, they were already showing up at my house telling me to turn myself in. I didn't even know who to turn myself into, and then 2 days later they came and got me, which was today. I mean, I've been going to the other court religiously. I missed one. I'll continue to go to court.
All right, thank you, sir.
I haven't had any contact with the other case things going on or anything like that. It's just. Started a new job last week too, and like I own my own house. I'm not flight risk. I'm not going anywhere. I own my own property right there at the address.
All right, sir. I'm going to hold you on a total of $200 worth of bonds. Attorney Amanda Bynum will be representing you. You're going to be seen on video tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. You're excused.
Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Hello. Anthony. Hello.
Okay, your total name is Anthony. That's it?
Anthony Leja.
Okay, thank you. All right. So you have an arrest warrant out of Tucson City Court. You were charged with assault and with disorderly conduct, and this was back in May of last year, it looks like, and you failed to appear in June of last year, and here we are. So why'd you fail to appear?
I have no idea. Maybe I forgot or something. I don't have an answer for you.
Right. I'm going to order that you not have contact with the alleged victims. Stay away from the incident location. This is one failure to appear. I am going to release you on your own recognizance to give you a court date of March 24th, 2 o'clock. I will warn you, though, that if you fail to appear again and you come up with an answer of, I don't know, maybe I forgot, you're probably not going to be released without posting a bond. Okay? You're excused.
Okay. March 24th. Today's date. March 26th. No. Thank you. Thank you for
What's your name?
my name's Jeffrey Alboss Jr.
Okay.
I know it's
Got a couple cases here in Tucson City Court. You were cited for trespassing, assault with injury, and disorderly conduct. This is from today. And you have another file. This one is from January. You were charged with criminal damage, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct.
Thank you, Bristol.
And you have several other files. It looks like that you've been seen on those already. We're going to set bond in the amount of 500. Do not have contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location.
Okay.
Illegal drugs. The public defender is appointed to represent you. Video review at City Court is March 6th at 1:45. If you bond out, it'll be the same date in person.
Thank you. Still. Sir? Oh, yeah, on the way, maybe it was 7 yes. Okay, so, bro.
Hello, what's your name? Mr. Brown, you have a couple of matters. You're charged with possession of a narcotic drug. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and also no firearms or other weapons. Do not return to the location of the alleged incident. And the state on that matter is recommending $1,000 bond with pretrial services supervision. If posted, you also have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence assault, and I'll omit reading the other charge. On that one, the warrant, let's see, lists a bond of $25,000, which is what the state is also recommending. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Thank you, Judge. So I see that the state is also recommending the STEPS program as to the narcotic drug matter. And it appears that the grand jury warrant from 2021, that in that matter, Judge, Mr. Brown was never arrested. As to both matters, Your Honor, it looks like Mr. Brown is a long-term Tucson resident. He's employed part-time and he has some family support in the community. He won't have any problems going to court. So we were actually going to ask you to consider giving him one chance on pretrial services release. Doesn't appear he's had any other law enforcement contact since 2016. So, and I understand this is an old warrant, Judge, but because he was never arrested on this, I don't know the exact date of indictment. It may have been around the time COVID was going on. So for those reasons, we're asking for release, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, Your Honor, can I say something?
No, don't talk. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, typically if individuals are out of custody and similar to JP court warrants, grand jury warrants have to issue because of whereabouts being unknown. So the only additional information I would add is just the noted criminal history, and nothing really beyond what the court already knows, Your Honor.
As far as the charges on the warrant, I don't know a whole heck of a lot other than the charges.
I can pull the file up. I can give some limited information, Your Honor, given that there technically hasn't been an arraignment yet on it, but I'll see if I can, if it'll allow me the access to this file to share some facts.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to read a little bit about STEPS. I'm going to follow it up by a question, Mr. Brown. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations and your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now? That's part of this statement that's printed out. I'm not saying that I'm going to release you, by the way, but I'm not saying I'm not going to release you either. And learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing. Are you interested?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will place you into STEPS.
And I do have the facts when you're ready, Your Honor. I just want to make sure there's no other defendants around because these are pretty sensitive facts.
Can you do it? This no, it's empty. No, keep separate. Okay.
So, Your Honor, the one of the victims is at least at the time, I don't know the circumstances now, is the defendant's, I believe, wife. There's a 9-year-old and a 5-month-old involved, and essentially this defendant gets angry and essentially is throwing the mother victim around. She falls with the baby, hits her head, or hits the wall, causing, some sort of indentation on the wall and injury to her head. Luckily, the infant was not essentially injured, and then the defendant takes out a pistol and discharges it into the floor, essentially with, all these individuals around. So it appears to be a very extremely violent act to not only the adult victim, but it appears that infant and young children, were around.
All right, thank you. On the drug charge, I'm going to hold you on a. Sorry, this cursor keeps disappearing on me. That doesn't make any difference. Here we go. On the drug matter, bond is set in the amount of $100. Steps, the court date is March 5th at 9 a.m. Preliminary hearing is March 10th at 1:30. The legal defender is appointed to represent you. As to the Superior Court matter, I am going to set bond in the amount of $25,000. No contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the residence and workplace of the victim. No acts of domestic violence, no firearms or other weapons, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. And that court date is March 5th at 1:30. Legal defender appointed. Pretrial service supervision if the bond is posted. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Jonathan Jerovic.
Okay, one moment.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, sir, I read one file. You have another file here. The charges on that one. Domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 3 counts, and domestic violence preventing or interfering with the use of a telephone in an emergency. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Teresa Fields, the person identified by initials ED, and no contact with a minor child. You're not to go to their respective homes, workplaces, or schools. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You're not to possess any firearms or other weapons. Surrender any in your possession to TPD. I'm going to hold you on a total of $5,000 worth of bonds and appoint the city public defender to represent you. Your next court date will be a video review, and that will be March 5th at 1:30 at Tucson City Court. If you bond out prior to that date, still show up at court on that date in person with your attorney. That's it. Excused.
On Your Honor, so on the next one, we will waive reading, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hello, what's your name?
Samuel Lucero, sir.
Okay. Waive reading of the charges. We're going to order no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons, and no contact. You can read the rest of it.
Yep.
Let's see. The state is recommending a $50,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from the defense.
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Lucero is requesting the court to consider releasing him to pretrial services this evening because he does not have any criminal history. I don't see any misdemeanors either. It follows that there are no failures to appear. Has family support. He's living with his mother. Currently has no problem if the court orders no contact with the class of victims protected by the statute. Your Honor, currently there's pending litigation before the Arizona Supreme Court on whether or not charges involving fact patterns such as these are prison only or probation available. And again, Judge, it's pending litigation, so we don't know yet. For those reasons, Judge, we're asking you to consider releasing Mr. Lucet to the supervision of children's services. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, regardless if those category of individuals are present in the home or not, he's posing as those category of individuals and is seeking them in the community. So that is the basis for the state's recommendation.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of 20,000. Your next court date is March 10th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
I believe this is the Spanish matter, Judge.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Español.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Diga su nombre.
Carlos Alberto Olmeyer.
Carlos Alberto Olmeyer.
The charge against you is unlawful possession of a narcotic drug for sale.
El cargo contra usted es posesión ilícita de una droga narcótica destinada para la venta.
The state's asking for a bond of $100,000 cash only with pretrial services supervision if posted.
El Estado está pidiendo una fianza de $100,000 de efectivo únicamente y que si se deposita será usted supervisado por los servicios preprocesales.
We'll hear from the defense.
Vamos a escuchar lo que dice el abogado defensor.
So, Judge, Mr. Olmeyer has no criminal history of any kind.
Su señoría, el señor Olmeyer no tiene nada de antecedentes penales de cualquier tipo.
While acknowledging that the victim here is the community at large, this is categorized as a victim crime.
Aunque se categoriza esto como que hay una víctima por la comunidad en general, esto se categoriza como un delito sin víctima.
No whole respect. But I just checked with records, and the TFC does not have any detainers from other agencies.
Y ya chequé con los registros y no parece que lo está pidiendo ninguna otra agencia.
For those reasons, we are asking you to consider release, but if you are not inclined, a $10,000.
Por esas razones estamos pidiendo que usted lo libere, pero si decide no hacerlo, que solamente le imponga una fianza de $10,000. Muy bien, gracias.
From the state.
A ver qué dice el Estado.
Your Honor, he has direct ties to Mexico and had approximately $500,000 worth of cocaine. The state feels a high cash-only bond is appropriate.
Su señoría, él tiene vínculos o conexiones a México y cuando lo detuvieron tenía $500,000 en valor de cocaína. Entonces pensamos que una fianza alta sería solo lo que se debería imponer.
All right, thank you.
Muy bien, gracias.
No alcohol or drugs, don't return to the incident location, do not leave the state of Arizona without court's permission. Bond is set in the amount of 100,000 cash. March 10th, 1:30 is your court date. Sorry, I was going fast.
No, I got it, Your Honor, thank you. Se le prohíbe consumir alcohol ni droga, no regresar al local del incidente. La fianza será $100,000 en efectivo y su siguiente audiencia es el 10 de marzo a la 1:30 de la tarde.
And pretrial services if the bond is posted.
Y si se deposita la fianza, entonces será supervisado por los servicios preprocesales.
March 10th, 1:30, public defender appointed.
El 10 de marzo a la 1:30 y se le asigna un defensor público.
You're excused.
Está libre de retirarse. And may the interpreter be excused, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night.
Hello, what's your name?
Pamela Annis.
Ms. Annis, you're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence and that you not possess any firearms or other weapons. And it looks like apparently the alleged victim wants contact with you. We'll hear from the, and the state's asking, by the way, for a $25,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from the defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Annis, at 55 years old, has absolutely no criminal history whatsoever. There are no misdemeanors noted on the pretrial services report. The court already noted that the victim wants contact and is not objecting to her release from custody. Your Honor, if this court feels that contact should not be allowed, that's fine, but we're still asking you to consider releasing her to pretrial services. Your Honor, at the beginning of the interim complaint, it seems like she wanted to involve law enforcement to report something. So, I mean, I understand this is only probable cause, but once disclosure is in, we anticipate something more is coming, and some defenses may or may not apply. For those reasons, Judge, given the totality of the circumstances of this situation, we are asking you to release Ms. Annis to pretrial services release due to a complete lack of felony history and because of the victim's account. Thank you.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Note a knife's involved, Judge, and pretrial's report is silent on whether there's verified separate housing or not. I'd imagine it's silent because the victim's okay with contact, but given the allegations, if you are inclined to release her, this is concerning conduct and there should be no contact. So I don't know if there's any verifiable separate housing apart from this, victim.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Was that silent, Judge, the whole time?
No,
Can you hear me, Judge?
I could hear you. I couldn't hear. He was looking at the camera and talking. I thought he was talking to me. I don't know.
No, Judge. I was just talking to Pamela to find out if return housing is something she is able to find, and she reports to me that's an option, and if she can work something out to stay away from her husband if the court let the order them.
Well, my question: did she want contact with him?
We worked out an agreement.
Yes or no is sufficient.
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, I'm going to order that you stay away from his residence. I'm not ordering that you not have contact with him, though. You get a one-time return visit with a police escort to pick up personal belongings. I am going to release you the supervision of pretrial services. Your next court date is March 18th at 1:30, and the public defender represents you. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
Proceed.
Hello, what is your name?
Christiane.
Is that it?
Christiane Aparicio.
Thank you. You're charged with aggravated driving under the influence. I'm going to order that you not possess any or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. The state is asking for a $7,500 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. And we'll hear from the defense.
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Prasio is also asking you to consider releasing her to pretrial services supervision. She has family support locally. She has lived in Tucson almost all of her life. We do acknowledge she has some DUI history, Judge, but looks like the last one is from 2018. The probation was discharged in 2022. And Your Honor, Mr. Prasio is also employed, and she won't have any troubles getting to court if you were to release her today. And she is willing to participate in any level of monitoring and treatment that pretrial is appropriate. So for those reasons, Judge, we are asking you to consider releasing Mr. Prasio to pretrial services supervision. Thank you.
We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, the recommendation is just based on the DUI history, the two older misdemeanor DUIs and the more recent, as defense counsel noted, felony DUI that was essentially pled down from an ag DUI to the endangerment combo, as it's coined.
All right. Bond is set in the amount of $3,500. The legal defender is appointed. Your next court date is March 10th at 1:30. And I believe that's it. You're excused.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hello, what is your name?
Belinda Isaac.
Okay, just a minute. You are charged with unlawful possession of narcotic drug and unlawful possession of dangerous drug. I have a statement here I'm going to read to you, and you answer the question that will follow the statement. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Your Honor, may I say something, please?
Not yet. I'm trying to get this mouse to cooperate with me. Thank you. All right. I intend on following the state's recommendation. Are you sure you want to say anything?
Judge, I was just going to say we are willing to waive some time for the preliminary hearing. We are okay with going 45 days since you're releasing her. So the 45-day calculation comes up to April 14th.
Right. Okay. Thank you. No alcohol or drugs, released to, and no return to the incident location, released to the supervision and pretrial services, cooperate with them. STEPS, court date is March 5th, 9 o'clock. Preliminary hearing is April 14th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed. You're excused, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Hello, what's your name?
Robert Embry.
Embry, you're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, domestic violence stalking, tampering with physical evidence, and burglary in the second degree. In order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, no firearms or other weapons, do not have contact of any kind with Farina, Miranda, and stay home and workplace. I note that you are already on felony probation, and the state is recommending $50,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. And we'll hear from the defense.
Thank you, Judge. In speaking with the jail just now, I was informed that Mr. Embry's probation officer did send over a felony probation hold. So for that reason, we are asking for a bond this evening. Given that there is that hold in place, we would ask you to consider a $5,000. Thank you.
Bond is set in the amount of $50,000. March 10th, 1:30 is your court date. Public defender appointed, and you're excused. Pretrial services supervision in post. Hello, what is your name?
Michael Estrada.
Okay. You've got both felony and misdemeanor charges. Felony wise, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of kidnapping, apprehension of injury, domestic violence, aggravated assault, impeding breath, domestic violence, assault, touch to injure, domestic violence. $75,000 bond is listed on this warrant, and the state is recommending that I hold you on that amount. You also have some misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court. You were charged today with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, failure to comply with a court order, and a long form complaint from July of last year, domestic violence, assault with injury, and domestic violence, disorderly conduct involving the same alleged victim. As to the felony matter, we'll hear from defense counsel.
Thank you, Judge. So we don't have an interim complaint. We just have the warrant, and I understand grand jury is asking for 75,000. But Mr. Estrada's last conviction seems to be from 2021. He has no failures to appear in the last 2 years. He is employed full time as a mover. He has a family member, his aunt, who can provide third-party custody and transportation to court if necessary. For all those reasons, Judge, we are asking you to give Mr. Estrada a chance on pre-trial services release. But we acknowledge he has some misdemeanor numbers too. So if you're not inclined to release him, we ask that the bond be somewhere close to $5,000. Thank you.
Let's hear from the state.
And Your Honor, I did look up the facts. So the allegations here essentially involve him basically punching her, going behind her, wrapping his arms around her in a chokehold. She would essentially, drop her body and fall to the floor and then continue to spit on her. It was a very, very violent attack. Clearly, he's incurred new misdemeanor DV charges. I would imagine it would be the same victim if we're talking about Karina. So the grand jury had to issue its warrant, as previously explained before, in light of the whereabouts likely being unknown. So the state believes the high bond that was requested is appropriate based on the circumstances.
All right, thank you. On your felony, I am going to hold you on $75,000 bond, no contact with Karina Baharas, stay away from her home and workplace, no firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not commit any acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is March 5th at 1:30. And the public defender is appointed to represent you. As to the misdemeanor cases, these are basically going to be the same conditions. No contact, no return, one-time return visit with a police escort to get your belongings. Bond on the misdemeanor total of $5,000. And your court date at Tucson City Court. Video review, March 5th, 1:30. If you're released prior to that, it's still going to be the same date, but with you there in person, with the city public defender representing you. Okay, you're excused. Hello, what is your name?
Hello, Isela Judson.
You both felony and misdemeanor cases. Felony charges are possession of narcotic drugs for sale, possession of narcotic drugs. 2 counts, possession of a deadly weapon during a commission of a felony, possession of stolen firearm, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do not order no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons, and do not return the location of the alleged incident. State's asking for a $15,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So Isela is being classified as a level 2 nonviolent offender by pretrial services, acknowledging that the community at large is the victim, that there is no named victim in this matter. She does not have any failures to appear in the last 2 years. She seems to be employed as a part-time as a cleaner, and she has family support. Her grandmother has agreed to provide third-party custody and transportation to court if that becomes necessary. For all those reasons, Judge, we ask you to release Ms. Judson to the supervision of pretrial services. But in case you're not inclined to do that, we ask that the bill be close to $5,000.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, I would just note her criminal history, the nature of the offenses, and the fact that her last 3 prior felony convictions, probation had to be revoked. So there appears to be an issue with following conditions of supervision.
Thank you. Mr. Bond in the amount of $10,000, March 10th, 1:30 is your court date. Legal defender appointed. As to your misdemeanor case, this is from 2016, and the charge is possession of drug paraphernalia. Looks like this is adjudicated. I guess you didn't, it looks like you didn't do the drug counseling or anonymous meetings that you were ordered to do, and ordered to show cause hearing was set for you to show why you shouldn't be subject to the suspended fine that you agreed to. You didn't show up at the hearing, and that's how you got a warrant. would go ahead and foster your warrant. Probation is already terminated, and I'm going to vacate the court mandate, and I'm not setting any new dates on the misdemeanors. So what you need to deal with is your felony matter. You're excused.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Hello, what is your name?
Nelson Maldonado, Your Honor.
Maldonado, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court. Charges listed are 2 counts of endangerment, substantial risk of death, criminal damage, greater or equal to $10,000, driving under the influence, and extreme driving under the, super extreme driving under the influence. $1,500 bond is listed on the warrant. State's recommending that I release the supervision of pretrial services, which I will do, ordering no alcohol or illegal drugs, don't drive without a valid license, no firearms or other weapons. Your next court date is March 5th at 1:30. Public defender represents you and cooperate with pretrial services. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Michael Padilla, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Padilla, you have several misdemeanor cases in addition to the felony charge taking someone else's identity, and the state is recommending $10,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Your Honor, I had a chance to talk to Mr.
Before you start, the likelihood is that whatever I do with the felony, he's going to be held on at least some of these misdemeanors. Go ahead.
Judge, I was just going to say I did talk to Mr. Padillas about what potentially could happen in court before we started, and he still wants me to ask you to consider giving him one more chance on pretrial services and to trust him that he will come to court. So because that is what he's requesting, I will not be asking the court, recommending a bond amount. But then if the court's going to hold him on misdemeanors, if the court does that, we just ask that the court set a nominal bond on the felony so he earns time for it. Thank you.
All right. We'll hear from the state.
I would just note the nature of the effects of the significant impact this has had on the victim of routinely getting citations and things of that nature under his identity, and the remedies of having to do that, as well as the numerous warrants the court's aware of in misdemeanor court.
All right, thank you. Mr. Padillas, I can't trust you to come to court. I can't even trust you to give your correct name. You have caused allegedly significant damage to somebody else's life. You have a long habit of not coming to court, and you have a very long criminal history. So I am going to hold you on this felony matter on a bond of $10,000. Don't have contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. No firearms or other weapons, and no alcohol or illegal drugs, or return to the, well, I said that already. March 10th, 1:30 is your next court date. Legal defender appointed. You also have a number of misdemeanor cases in various, well, 3 different courts. Moreno, you have a warrant on 3 counts of shoplifting. Bond on that matter is set in the amount of $500. You're going to be seen at noon tomorrow, and Attorney Janet Altshuler will be representing you. You have 4 warrants in Pima County Justice Court. This first one here is shoplifting, $250 bond. You're going to be seen tomorrow at 1 p.m. on that one, and Ms. Altshuler will be representing you on those charges as well in Justice Court. And then you've got Tucson City Court. All of these, well, 2 of these cases are from 2023, and 2 of them are from last year. Drug paraphernalia, prescription only drug from last year, you failed to appear. Prescription only drug paraphernalia, and trespassing from last year, failure to appear. Drug paraphernalia from 2023, failure to appear. And drug paraphernalia from last year, failure to appear. On your Tucson City Court matters, bond is set in the amount of $300. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. We'll note the other holds. And no alcohol or drugs, no return to the incident locations, and no contact with victim. Okay, this is okay, video review is March 7th, 1:45. If you're released March 26th at 1:30. All right, you're excused. Hello, what's your name? Charged with burglary in the 3rd degree, theft of means of transportation. Will order that you not have contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol or drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. Pretrial services release is recommended by the state. We will do that. And you're going to have a court date of March 18th at 1:30. The public defender will be representing you. You also have a couple of warrants out of Pima County Justice Court. One is on a shoplifting case, the other on a drug paraphernalia and trespassing case. You are released on those with a court date of March 28th at 8:30 at Pima County Justice Court. All right, you're excused.
Hello?
Hello, what is your name?
Hello. Hello, Your Honor. My name is Armando Sotelo. Good evening.
Mr. Sotelo, you're charged with aggravated assault, domestic violence, and burglary, domestic violence. You have a probation hold. I'm going to order that you have no contact. Well, first of all, there's somebody on, I think, on the call that wants to speak. Identify yourself and go ahead.
My name is Rachel Lipscomb. I'm the victim.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say that I don't feel safe with him being out of jail. I've had to move out of my home, and I don't feel safe in my home. He's violated the order of protection that I've had since February of last year. It has been abusive throughout our relationship. I left him a couple years ago, and I put an order of protection last year because he destroyed my house, and he's violated the order of protection multiple times. So I just... Sorry, my my phone cut out. I just don't trust that he is going some of the things that you would order.
All right, thank you. I'm going to order no contact with Rachel Lipscomb and stay away from her home and workplace. And the state's recommendation is to hold you on a $25,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. And we'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, can I have a brief moment, please?
You may.
Thank you. Judge, my understanding is that Mr. Sotelo already has a probation hold that the APD has placed on him. There is a high chance he's going to be held without bond on that. For that reason, we ask you to consider imposing a $5,000 bond on this new. Thank you.
Thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $25,000 cash. And your next court date is March 10th at 1:30. The legal defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Hello, what is your name?
My name is Kenneth Spencer.
Mr. Spencer, let's see. You have an arrest warrant of Nogales Justice Court. It lists a $1,000 bond.
Ever. Just have to be passing through.
The charge is aggravated assault. So we are going to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from the incident location. No firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And this is from this is from 1987. According to pretrial services. So how is it you didn't appear in court, sir?
Your Honor, my father and my brother got in a fight down there.
You don't need to talk about the facts. I just asked you why you didn't appear.
Your Honor, he reports that he did appear.
I most certainly did appear.
Back in 1987.
1987.
Okay. And then what?
Can I tell him what happened?
Judge, can I talk to him for a brief moment?
Sure, go ahead.
Judge, so what seems to be the situation here is that Mr. Spencer did attend court. He reports to me in 1987, as he just told the court. And he was informed at the conclusion of the hearing that there were no future court dates and that the county attorney was dismissing the matter. I do not know if it was with or without prejudice. We don't remember that. But clearly, it looks like it was not dismissed or it was refiled. It doesn't go that bad. But in any event, Judge, that was the impression Mr. Spencer had, that the victim was not wishing to prosecute and the county attorney had dismissed the matter. So he was under that impression and he did not get any future court dates, didn't get notice of any future court hearings, and genuinely thought that the matter was dismissed. So for those reasons, Judge, we are asking you to consider releasing Mr. Spencer. He will reach out to the Santa Cruz County Attorney's Office, Santa Cruz County Superior Court, Justice Court here, and find out what is going on with this case. And he,
Give me my word, Judge.
And he will also try to contact the Public Defender's Office there to see if they have the archives and if they have more information and disclosure.
They don't have a public defender's office in Santa Cruz County, so he would have to contact the court and the county attorney's office.
I'll do that. Look, I've never ran from anything.
All right, thank you. One moment.
Let me. Is it really going back?
Mr. Spencer,
Yes, sir.
be quiet. Thank you. All right, Mr. Spencer, I'm gonna release you from custody with the order that you are tomorrow before 2 p.m. to make contact with the Nogales Justice Court and arrange for a court appearance. If they want you there in person, go there. If you can do it by remote access like Zoom, do that. Either way, but contact the court tomorrow and set up a court date. You're excused.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Judge, was this pre-trial services or auto R?
This is well, let's release you the pretrial services then. Contact them as well. Okay? You're excused.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello, what is your name?
Ronald Strong.
Mr. Strong, you have several matters. You have a probation hold, and you've been charged with possession of a dangerous drug. State's moved to dismiss. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Okay, this is the one. Dismissal is without prejudice, meaning it could be refiled.
Okay.
That takes care of that one. And then you've got a misdemeanor warrant on a domestic violence case out of Pima County Justice Court, listing a bond of $500. So we'll set the bond of $500. Attorney John Illis is representing you. You're going to be seen on that one tomorrow at 1 o'clock. See what happens then. You're excused. This one being
Judge, does he have anything in Moreno?
I didn't see anything in Moreno. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's supposed to be pretrial services. So let's correct that. Okay.
Judge, we still have Mr. Strong here, and the jail is reporting that they saw something from Moreno Municipal Court. Is it a probation violation? It's a probation violation warrant.
Go up to court.
To me, and sometimes they see them directly at the court on those. Sometimes they see them here, but I'm not sure if they're going to see him here on it.
No.
Okay.
Nothing on him. Right.
Okay, so I guess he'll get seen when he does. Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, what's your name?
Anthony Turner.
Okay. You got a couple of matters, Mr. Turner. Felony charges are armed robbery and aggravated assault. We're going to order no contact with the alleged victim. Do not return to any Quick Mart store. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. The county attorney is recommending a $50,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Looks like Mr.
Probation matter in Maricopa, and there you got a hold on that. Go ahead,
Judge. Oh, sorry. Given that he has that Maricopa County probation hold, in addition to the DOC hold that is shown also on another Maricopa County case, whatever bond the court sets today, he won't be released out of custody. So we're asking you to consider a $10,000 bond. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Let's hear from the prosecution.
I don't think it's probation. It's a parole violation warrant. DOC, Your Honor, I looked up his release date. Yeah, I looked up the release date, Your Honor, and that hold is going to list in, looks like for the website, April 5th. So it's not a situation where he's going to be held for a significant period of time. So the state feels the higher bond is appropriate based on the nature of the offense, the parole status, and the NVCA flag, and almost being maxed out on both scales.
Thank you. He's also got significant criminal history. So 50,000, March 10th, 1:30, legal defender appointed. And he's got another matter. This one is from Pima County Justice Court. And this is a new charge, new complaint: drug paraphernalia and shoplifting. All right, stay away from Circle K. No contact with alleged victim. No alcohol or drugs. No firearms or other weapons. $500 bond on the misdemeanor. You're gonna be seen tomorrow at 1 p.m. represented by Mr. Peter Gutierrez. You're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just got down the stairs, right, bro? Yep. So I think the stairs take us.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is John Williams, Jonathan Douglas Williams.
Okay, you got several matters. Felony charges are possession of dangerous drug, narcotic drug and drug paraphernalia. State recommending $1,000 bond with pretrial services supervision. You have, and also steps. And I think you have a probation hold. With regard to steps, let's read the statement here. You can follow it up. Follow up by a question. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you, and this is not, don't take this as a promise. It's just part of the statement. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll schedule you into STEPS, which will be March 5th at 9 o'clock. Again, the state's recommendation is $1,000 bond. Any objection to that?
No, Judge, given that he needs to participate in steps, if we release him today, he'll go to Paso.
Right.
No objection to it.
All right. So no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Stay away from the incident location. And preliminary hearing is going to be March 10th at 1:30. Free child services supervision if the bond is posted. And steps March 5th at 9. Public defender appointed. The three other matters, you've got apparently a warrant in Maricopa County Superior Court. Two counts of theft of a credit card, $500 bond is listed. So I'm going to impose that bond. Your next court date on this matter is March 27th at 9. And then you've got a couple of matters in Pima County Justice Court. Shoplifting. We'll note the other holds. I'm releasing you on these misdemeanor Justice Court warrants. Court date there is March 28th at 8:30 on each of those. Okay, that's it. You're excused.
I don't understand.
So you have to post a $1,500 bond. So you have multiple cases.
So I'm not getting it yet.
All right, folks. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good night.
Have a good night.